Imagine waking up tomorrow to a company-wide email. Congratulations, half your job is now being handled by AI. Please return your stapler to HR. Terrifying, right? But here's the kicker. Your stapler isn't the part they're replacing. It's your skills. And unless you've been secretly training like a career ninja, you might suddenly find yourself Googling, is professional couch sitting a paid role? That's where the growth mindset comes in. The career equivalent of upgrading from dial-up internet to fiber optic. It doesn't just keep you relevant, it makes you the kind of person who thrives when the rules change. Number 10, treat learning like a deliverable, not a hobby. Most professionals treat learning like flossing. They know it matters. They occasionally dabble, but they hope no one notices the neglect. That strategy might have worked when career paths were steady ladders. Today, the ladders are being pulled up, reshaped into roller coasters, and half the time the ride operator is AI. Employers across industries are blunt reskilling is now a non-negotiable. The workers who will thrive are the ones who see learn X as equal in priority to ship Y. That means learning cannot sit on your someday shelf. It has to be scheduled, tracked, and delivered. If you're not learning in public, through demos, reports, or experiments, you're learning in fantasy. And here's the funny truth. I'll learn it when I have time is basically the corporate equivalent of I'll get abs after this next pizza. You know how that ends. Number 9. Add the magic word yet to your vocabulary. There's a simple trick that psychologists swear by, and it works better than any TED Talk pep rally. Add yet to the end of your self-doubts. I can't present to executives yet. I'm terrible with data analysis yet. That 3-letter word reframes your supposed flaws as works in progress, which aligns perfectly with the way your brain actually works. Contrary to the old "your brain hardens after college" myth, adult neuroplasticity is real. Your neurons are still reshaping connections well into your later years, and yes, you can absolutely learn to run that whiteboard session without sweating through your shirt. It just takes reps. And let's be honest, without yet, our inner voice is basically an internet troll. You suck is not actionable feedback. You don't have this skill yet is a challenge. And who doesn't love a good challenge, especially when there's coffee involved? Number 8. Replace performance goals with learning goals. Performance goals sound shiny: crush Q3, optimize by Q4, achieve synergy, whatever that is. But here's the catch: they make you play it safe. If the scoreboard only says win or fail, why risk trying new plays? Learning goals flip the script. Instead of crush revenue, try get fluent in customer finance language so my deck actually converts. Research shows mastery-oriented goals boost persistence and confidence, the exact fuel you need when your boss drops a "just figure it out" bomb on Tuesday. Think of it like dieting. Performance goals are crash cleanses, while learning goals are like learning to cook. Results still matter. But now, you've got skills that feed you for life. Number 7, don't just practice more, practice deliberately. If repetition alone made you great, every PowerPoint veteran would be a global thought leader. They're not. Hours logged expertise. Growth comes from deliberate practice, targeted, feedback-rich reps on micro skills. Want to crush executive communications? Don't just make more decks. Break it down. One-sentence problem statements, clear risk framing, crisp asks. Drill each like Lego blocks. Review, repeat. Yes, it's harder because it forces you to wrestle your weak spots. But like the gym, you don't get stronger curling air and you don't get sharper rehearsing what you already like. Pick up the heavier thing. Number 6, make feedback your operating system. Feedback isn't a personality test, it's just data. Every field that improves, sports, medicine, coding, runs on it. Yet most of us treat feedback like a root canal. Why? Because it stings. But your inner critic is a lousy coach. It just heckles you from the cheap seats. A good coach pauses the tape, points at your flailing elbow and says, "Fix that." The trick? Don't ask. Any feedback? That's an invitation for fluff. Go specific. Mark anything confusing in slide 5, or what's one thing I should change in my next call? Then close the loop by showing what you fixed. People love seeing their advice wasn't just tossed into the void, kind of like giving a plant water and watching it not die. Number 5, build psychological safety, even if you're not the boss. Nothing kills growth faster than a culture of hiding mistakes. Studies repeatedly link psychological safety, the sense that you won't be punished for admitting a flaw or asking a question, with innovation and team learning. If people feel like every slip is a career-ending event, they'll stop experimenting. The good news? You don't need to be the CEO to create microclimates of safety. Start small. Admit your uncertainties in a meeting. Invite dissent by asking, where could this plan fail? And when someone does speak up, thank them like they just spotted spinach in your teeth before a big date. You don't get mad at the messenger, you buy them dessert. Number 4, stop cramming. Start spacing. Cramming feels productive. You sit there in a caffeine haze, marinating in your notes for hours. Then, the next day, it's all gone, like a bad Netflix plot twist. Research on learning strategies is brutal on cramming. It doesn't stick. What does work is spacing and retrieval practice. Spacing means you review material at increasing intervals, one day later, a week later, then a month later. Retrieval means you test yourself instead of just rereading. Combined, these two techniques crush cramming every time. Think of it like dating. You don't go on 20 dates with someone in 1 week and expect to know them for life. You spread it out, revisit, test the connection, and build memory over time. That's how learning becomes long-term and less like a one-night stand with a textbook. Number 3, craft your job. Instead of waiting for HR to do it. Too many people think career growth comes only when HR taps you on the shoulder with a shiny new role. Wrong. Professionals with growth mindsets are more likely to job craft, that is, tweak their tasks and relationships to add meaning and stretch. You don't need a new title to learn, you need initiative. That might mean volunteering for the messy operational bug nobody else wants, or pairing up with a data scientist to co-create something new. It's not about dodging your current role. It's about upgrading it from within. And let's be real. If you're waiting for permission to grow, you've accidentally outsourced your career to a bureaucratic calendar. That's like waiting for the DMV to text you life advice. Number 2, run retros like elite teams. After-action reviews aren't just for the military or agile software teams. They're one of the simplest, cheapest ways to compound learning. Research on team reflexivity shows that groups who pause to reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what to change perform better over time. You can do this even solo. After a big project, spend 20 minutes answering, what did I try? What surprised me? What will I do differently next time? Document it. Over time, you build a personal playbook of greatest hits you can reuse. Skipping retros is like skipping the credits at the end of a Marvel movie. You miss the part that actually sets up the sequel. Number 1, pair self-compassion with scoreboards. Metrics matter. You need to know whether you're actually getting faster, sharper, or more impactful. But here's where many professionals sabotage themselves. They pair metrics with self-loathing. Instead of good rep, now improve this, they say you're hopeless. And shockingly, that doesn't help. Research shows self-compassion correlates with better resilience, less burnout, and more persistence. Combined with progress feedback, it keeps you in the game long enough to actually see results. So yes, track your reps, your cycle times, or your drafts, but talk to yourself like a respected teammate, not like the boss from a bad sitcom, because let's face it, beating yourself up is the laziest performance review ever invented, and nobody ever got promoted for being their own worst enemy. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you got even one laugh or one ouch, that's me moment out of this, do me a favor, hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe.